Howdy folks, welcome to Adrenaline Fueled Firearms. We're going to do a little something different with this video than I typically do. I'm going to give you a break from staring at my ugly face. Talk a little bit about handguns. So I'm narrowing it down some to the handguns that I have, that the plan is easy, simple end user modifications. So just to give you an idea of some of the possibilities that are out there with your selection of a handgun and some of the factors involved. So I like versatility. I like the ability to be able to shoot a number of different things without having to spend a ton of money on a whole new firearm. With that idea in mind, I had purchased this Glock 35 Gen 4 used because, as I stated in a prior video, while Glocks aren't my favorite thing, there are a ton of parts and accessories out there for the Glock firearm. What I was interested in was the ability to change out my barrels to be able to utilize different calibers, and to do so relatively inexpensively. So the Glock 35 is 40 Smith & Wesson native caliber. It's a long slide model. I like long slides, just personal preference. Theoretically accuracy, but for me, comfort, weight, recoil, there are just a lot of factors in my personal preference that go into enjoying the longer slide handguns. I don't actually own any of these little micro guns or any of these short-barreled handguns because I just lack the security in my masculinity and my man size to feel secure having a small handgun. So there it is. So with the Glock 35, a company called Alpha Wolf, excuse me, I think they're called Lone Wolf, but the barrels are Alpha Wolf. They make barrels for a number of different brands, but the cheapest and easiest to find are for the Glocks. These two barrels are for the Glock 35, fits Glock 35. This is a threaded 357 Sig barrel. This threaded 9mm barrel is actually already installed in the firearm, and the barrel you see in the container is the stock 40 Smith & Wesson barrel. One handgun, 3 calibers, threaded barrel if I want to use a suppressor later. Glocks also have the largest number of magazine size options. Depending on the legality in your area, they range from the stock to this one's a 24 round. Glock makes a 33 round. Other manufacturers, I believe there's a 50 round drum or some insanity like that. I don't own one of those. I think it's actually produced by Magpul, but I could be wrong on that. Just be aware that there are a ton of options out there for a Glock. So if you are not yet set in a grip style, honestly, as much as I dislike them, you might really consider a Glock just for the fact that they're everywhere. There are a ton of parts. The one thing I like about Glock, and I hesitate to say it, is the fact that when they put the money into designing a firearm, I don't think they ever pull the thing off the friggin' market. You can get a Glock in 357 Sig. It's hard to find a Sig in 357 Sig, but you can find a Glock in 357 Sig. They also have the 45 GAP, which stands for Glock Automatic Pistol. It's a 45 ACP cartridge that's been shortened down and uses more modern powders and basically has the exact same performance characteristics as a 45 automatic. Why? Because Glock. So, moving along, my plan is the same moving into the Sig P226. I actually acquired this Sig P226 as a law enforcement used model recently, 2 months ago. Haven't really had an opportunity with my other projects to get my other barrels, but Sig themselves has a number of barrel options that are no crap, no side company, off-brand, no matter how reputable they are. They are no bullshit Sig parts. You can buy the 40 Smith & Wesson the 357 Sig barrel for about $200 for the P226, and it's a drop-in. You can buy a 9mm that I would recommend having a gunsmith check it over if you're starting off with a 40 Smith & Wesson frame. Something I didn't note the 40 Smith & Wesson is probably the most versatile when it comes to just a barrel swap caliber conversion. Glock has, in the 41 I believe it is, which is the 45 ACP long slide, this same company sells a 10mm barrel, but it's 2 calibers, 3 calibers when you start 40 Smith & Wesson. Magazine size is the main consideration on a just barrel swap setup. There are a number of aftermarket products out there that you can do darn near anything to darn near anything else. It's just money. Moving over, P226 M17. Again, this is a full length as opposed to the shortened M18, which has less barrel. This is 9mm. I do not have plans to try fiddling with the caliber too much because 9mm is common enough. But this unit as it sits, I'm pretty sure you can slap a friggin' red dot in there. That's not part of my plan, but you can do it. It has a thumb safety, which is an option I like, as opposed to the 226, which is just a decocker, which doesn't actually safety the weapon, it just lets the hammer go forward without discharging the weapon. This unit, however, my little decision on that was I wanted something in a barrel that had threading. The problem I ran into, because I'm a dum-dum baby, is I didn't do all my research prior to purchasing my genuine Sig barrel for right around 200 bucks. Is the fact that the M17 and 18 have a round-in chamber indicator, as opposed to a standard P320, which doesn't have that little tab there that says, hey dum-dum, there's a round in the chamber, you better be careful. So this, seeing as how it moves and sits in the chamber, you can see here that it sits here where the barrel slides up into position. Therefore there is a notch in the stock barrel when dealing with the M17 and M18 barrels. The M18, being a shorter handgun, has a stock from Sig shorter barrel that is threaded for a suppressor. This barrel that I purchased is a standard P320 barrel. It did not have the round in chamber notch machined in there when I purchased it. That being said, I was able to recover from my own phenomenal stupidity with the assistance of Gunsmiths of Liberty. They did a good job going in there, machining out a chunk, and then rebluing the barrel. So if you look at it, it is very difficult to tell that this is not a factory job. The bluing is a very, very close match. It's very smooth, very clean, very well done. I have absolutely zero complaints on fit or function when it comes to this work that I had done. They charged me an hour labor for that. So, Gunsmiths of Liberty, thank you very much, folks. It was a pleasure working with you, and I'll be working with you guys again, you know, money allowing, time allowing, and, you know, just legality allowing, generally allowing. So these are 3 of the firearms that are in my gun safe that were purchased with an eye to the future towards modifiability. Now, this isn't saying that these are the only ones I have that can be modified, or these are the only firearms out there that can be modified, or you can make some minor change to it, even if it's just a barrel swap with threading in case you want a suppressor or some other muzzle device, such as a recoil compensator. So, this in no way limits your options. This is in no way all of the options that are out there. This is just a good spread of some of what my plans were to hopefully give you some ideas for your own plans moving forward, and hopefully help you make your selection when it comes to purchasing a firearm, specifically in this case a handgun. Well, this is kind of a short video for me, but you know, I'll let you go so you don't have to listen to my annoying voice anymore. I do hope you folks enjoyed this video. I hope that you'll pick something else over Glock, but if your fate is to choose a Glock, be safe and enjoy it. Thanks a lot, folks. Appreciate you tuning into this video. I hope you'll tune into other videos, and just have yourselves a wonderful day. Go out to the range if the weather's great. Get some shots through your guns. Enjoy.